Right, antioxidants, what they are and what the potential roles are. Okay, so this definition. We don't need much antioxidants in our diets. We probably need a good variety and we need to consume them regularly, whether sometimes because they're destroyed during the antioxidant action or, for example, if water soluble, may be lost through excretion. So here's a question. Pause the video presentation, have a think about this. Which foods here are more likely to contain the highest concentration of antioxidants? So pause the video for a second. Right, okay, I'll assume we've had a think about that. It may surprise you, it's these. The foods that contains high amounts of lipids are prone to free radical lipid oxidations, leading to things like rancidity. You leave the butter in the fridge too long and you're not going to want to eat it. Unacceptable tastes and odours, also potentially toxic as well. To reduce the rate at which this happens, antioxidants are added to these foods, often in quite high concentrations. It's important to bear in mind that the antioxidants from foods such as, I beg your pardon, let me start again. It is important to bear in mind that antioxidants from foods are biologically available and may have many roles. The antioxidants added to food are not relevant to those biological roles. They're just there to stop the food oxidizing. Chemical mechanisms involved are complex and often multiple mechanisms are involved. Beyond the scope of this module, but we'll return to the issue again in food chemistry next year. As usual, there's links there if you want to do more background reading earlier than that. We'll certainly talk about chelation in various contexts. Okay, so antioxidants, not sure why that. There's a definition of antioxidants there. Lots of biological molecules are potentially antioxidant effects. And there's a good definition of it. Yeah, and there's what I was actually looking for. Lots of biological molecules have potential antioxidant effects. These include vitamins such as A, C, E and K. Also involved are a wide range of plant colour compounds such as carotenoids and flavonoids. Again, you'll probably remember from the food colours lectures. And also notice the importance of a range of endogenous enzymes. Now, what these are enzymes that protect us from oxidative damage, which we talked about a little bit earlier in this lecture. So there's a link through the where that came from. It's not a bad review, actually, that paper there, if you're interested. Polyphenols are an important example of them, and lots of polyphenols. So a big chunk of potential antioxidants are said to be molecules called polyphenols. So what are they? You describe what a phenol is first. A phenol is an aromatic molecule. It's a molecule with its electrons delocalized in a ring, which contains at least one OH group. The simplest one is phenol itself, and there's some examples of slightly less simple ones. These are examples of polyphenols, which there are lots of these in food. Polyphenols contain many aromatic rings which have many OH groups. These are just a few of the countless examples associated with food, I think mostly from tea. They appear all over the place in biology, plant biology and human biology as well. Flavonoids are an example of a class of polyphenols. There are a lot of these, but they all have the same basic structure of 15 carbon atoms, sort of arranged in a ring of 6, a ring of 3, and another ring of 6. Many further elaborations are known. They have antioxidant roles in biology. They are found in high abundance in many foods, including teas, which is where their dark colour contributes to tea's appearance, which opens up some interesting questions. And here's an example of theaflavin, a polyphenol in tea. Done projects on that in the past, looking at analysing polyphenol in teas. This image is from the resource we mentioned right at the start. What it's suggesting is not entirely correct. If you really want to know more about polyphenols in tea, see the Polyphenol Explorer database. But it's interesting to note that if you compare green tea and black tea has more polyphenols, which is not surprising because black tea has more polyphenols than green tea, which is not very surprising because polyphenols are the components that make the tea darker. Green tea is often marketed as being high in antioxidants, especially flavonoid polyphenols. In fact, as I just mentioned, black tea contains a higher concentration, indicated by its darker colour. So that's an interesting marketing strategy there. Not there's anything wrong with green tea. I quite like green tea, but for black tea, it contains more polyphenols. And there's some examples of teas. Generally, as I've said, the darker the tea, the more polyphenols it contains. So why does tea develop polyphenols? This is due to a non-bacterial fermentation mediated by the enzyme polyphenol oxidase, PPO. PPOs are widely found in nature and the enzyme that causes sliced apples to go brown. And again, we'll look at this in quite a lot of detail next year. There's an apple going brown. We'll look at this in more process next year, both in food chemistry lectures and also in the labs as well. So, pro-oxidants. There's a balanced view. I think it is quite a good balanced view. Antioxidants were marketed as, miracle molecules to marvelous molecules, and finally, what they are really is physiological molecules. They can do all sorts of things. Antioxidants can have pro-oxidant behavior as well. It depends on the circumstances. Although antioxidants in the diet are a good thing, they aren't quite as miraculous as people once thought they were, or at least claimed they were in marketing terms. And here's a well-known antioxidant, ascorbic acid, vitamin C. Chemically acts as an oxygen scavenger, so reducing the rate of free radical reactions by removing oxygen. It will also act as a pro-oxidant when it reacts with iron and copper, producing iron 3 and iron 2, which in turn reduces hydrogen peroxide, we mentioned before, to hydroxy radicals. Again, both of those are damaging. As with such processes, the biochemistry is complex and physiological outcomes still need much research. We really aren't clear about what the balance is here. Vitamin E, alpha-tocopherol, is another example found in plant-based oils, nuts, seeds, fruit and vegetables. Its chemistry is very complicated indeed. There's the vitamin E molecule rather. When alpha-tocopherol reacts with a free radical, it becomes a radical itself. And there's, generally speaking, not enough vitamin C ascorbic around for its regeneration. It will remain in this highly reactive state and promote the antioxidation of linolenic acid. Now there's linolenic acid, which is a fatty acid. It's a polyunsaturated omega-6 fatty acid, which has many biological roles, including as a source of energy, like most fatty acids, but has specific roles in cell membranes and is required for the synthesis of key biological molecules, including phospholipids, triacylglycerols and cholesterol esters. So if it's damaged through alpha-tocopherol radicals, it can cause quite significant problems. Right, we're coming up with another break as well, so this is a quite distinct section, so I'm going to have another break here.